Welcome you all. This video will be discussing about 56 kinds of delays in a EPC project. You may ask how we arrived the number 56. It has been consolidated and the sum has been 56. There is no any specific number or specific story behind this 56. Yes, EPC project has different phases like engineering, procurement, construction, and project management, handling all the three together. So these delays will go from each phase of the project, and each phase have impact on the other phases also. Usually the design will have impact on procurement and construction, and procurement will have impact on construction, commissioning, so on. So we'll try to cover this all so that a beginner's perspective or an expert can have a refresher to understand or to get alerted that there are these kinds of delays happening in a project. Let's go into the PPT. So delays in engineering. We'll go with engineering. Engineering is nothing but design phase. Poor qualification of contractors' technical staff. We might not be in a perception that all the contractor staffs have very good design knowledge in the particular project. Every construction project is unique. It will have a different kind of design requirements in every project. It may be starting from oil and gas projects, or power plant projects, or infrastructures, building. Every construction project is unique. That is the biggest challenge in the industry always, and that is why we are facing delays. We are not able to implement Six Sigma level of processing error control. So we have to be very careful that these kind of qualification issues will definitely have impact on the project timeline completion. Improper technical studies during the bidding. Usually the contractors take a project based on the studies made during the bidding. So that will be a minimal engineering, a lean engineering team will be maintained by the contractor for estimation during the bidding process. So you might not be able to do all the studies in detail. So there might be errors and insufficient detail. So that will have an impact, actual impact on the engineering phase when you go for detail engineering. And delays in field survey. The field surveys they play a very important role because you have to survey the field. You should know the site where you are going to make the construction so that it will give you an full control over the design phase. If you are not able to do the field surveys in a proper manner, for example, the linear projects such as if you are taking a transmission line which has 200 kilometers, if you are doing a road, or if you are making rails which needs a huge amount of field survey, that cannot be usually done at the time of during bidding, and that will be done at the time of detail engineering, which will have an impact if we have not assumed the right details at the time of bidding. Delay in preparation of submission. So every time the contractor has to submit the deliverables, and there will be a deliverable plan. See what are the documents, drawings has to be submitted to the employer for their approval, and what are the documents that is submitted to the employer just for information, and what are the documents that are submitted to get at least approved with comments. So first that has to be segregated. I think most projects don't do that. They submit all the documents for the approval, which is not necessary because the contractor himself is an expertise in some area than the employer. So the employer can take that information or that deliverables only for information. So that will speed up the design progress. And this delay in submissions will have a direct impact on the entire project. So if the design approval delays, then the material procurement will delay, then the construction will obviously delay. So they will have a ripple effect over the entire project. And again, poor qualification of consultant engineers and staff. Sometimes it depends on the type of agreement you are executing. Like in some project, the employer will not have an external consultant. The employer itself will vet the design. In some cases, the PMCs will have an engineering consultant and they will vet the design. In very complicated projects, the employer will also have a design consultant. The contractor will also have a design consultant. In that cases, the consultant's expertise in the particular area should be very mandatory, and that has to have a full monitoring and control. Otherwise, that have an effect on the entire project. Delay in preparation of the drawings. So this is specifically drawings. Drawings are always on high priority than the other deliverables because the drawings, if any comments in the drawings has to be rectified, it takes a huge time than the document submissions, and these drawings will definitely have an impact on construction procurement. So that has to be monitored or expedited continuously to know the seriousness of the drawings. They are not just engineering phase. In my experience, I have done short projects like 2 to 3 year projects where engineering has to be limited to 3 to 4 months, but the engineering will be going on even after 1.5 years without any proper approval. You just imagine when the project will complete. So that are the very practical problems we see inside the industry. And comes the next phase. Now the contract has submitted, but the employer has to approve. There will be approval cycle. They have to approve within 7 days or 14 days. And sometimes they might not be able to approve and they will send with comments. See, usually in the industry, this 14 days of approval is taken in such a way that this 14 days is for an entire single cycle. But I have seen baseline plans where not more than, if it is a very huge drawing or very, very important drawing like P&IDs or site construction plans, it may take 2 or 3 revisions. But if you take each and every deliverables 28 48 days, I think that will not work. For example, a painting procedure, that also employer should not take 14 days, and also the contractor should not take 14 days to submit. That is like taking a cover under the contract saying that I have 14 days. No, when you can submit a small drawings at high speed, please do it. Otherwise, you will not be able to complete the project on time, for definitely. So slow consultant engineer's response, of course. For example, there will be an response from the employer to the contractor saying that we are rejecting this drawing for so and so reasons, or we are not able to completely approve this drawing for so and so reason. And those reasons might open an ambiguity between both the parties. The contractor may also know these details were not available at the time of bidding, so you give me additional details. So they might raise an RFI. An RFI is nothing but request for information, and those things has to be taken seriously and has to be done on time so that to expedite the engineering completion. And inadequate design specification, this in my experience, this comes in most of the projects. As I said, that every construction project is unique, so at the time of bidding, even the employer will not be more aware of what he needs in the design specification, and that might open an ambiguity in later stages between the contractor and employer at the time of design. See, these delays not only happen between employer and contractor. The same kind of delays which we are discussing will be between the contractor and the subcontractor. So wherever two parties have a contract which involves a design, so all these delays will happen. Ambiguities in specifications and drawings, as I said just before. The design in procurement we will see in upcoming video. Stay tuned with this.